Hi, and welcome back to Jen Savage Fitness. Today we are working our back and our biceps. All right, so get ready. We have 4 moves on the menu today. It is a bench over row to a bicep curl, dumbbell pullover, and then ending with a neutral or hammer curl. All right, so we are going to first dive in and get warmed up. So I want you to think about hinging at those hips because that bent over row is going to have us hinging at those hips. So we're just going to run our hands down the front of our legs. I'll show you from the side. We are simply hinging those glutes back, keeping that back nice and flat if you need to. At the top of each rotation here, we'll rotate those shoulder blades down and back just to make sure we're keeping that nice flat back. And I want you to think about engaging that full foot. If you notice that those toes tend to come up, I want you to really make sure that you're almost moving forward slightly. Do you see how I did that? So that you have that full foot in effect. All right, this last one, we are going to stay in that hinged position. We are going to bring our arms up and we are going to drive those elbows back as if we are making a W. Those palms should be facing the floor. We are going to extend up, pulling back, really squeezing those muscles in the back, okay? As we're coming up, driving back. We'll do just a couple more. And then got one more. Here we go. And come on up. All right. So now let's kind of shake out those arms. We're going to give ourselves a hug, noting that we are going to be able to do this, right? We are showing up today. We are going to do our best and focus on progress because that is always the goal. So when we get into this, I want you to think about your weight selection as we do some shoulder rolls. Now we're just going to elevate up, rotate down and back, okay? So as we're getting into this, think about your weight selection, all right? For the back moves, we have 8 reps. So you might be able to go a little heavier. For the bicep curls, we have 10 reps, the bicep and hammer curls. So those, and now let's reverse it. So those, you might need to go a little bit lighter. So I want you to think about that. Think about going into the move. Okay, what is something that is going to challenge me, but something that is also allowing me to be capable of finishing the move? Now, I get a question often, and it's, Jen, when should I feel the work? Well, you should feel the work throughout, but you really want, in like that set of 8 rows, around row 6, you really want to be feeling it like, ooh, that's spicy, right? So same with the bicep curl, since we have 10, you want to start feeling that about rep 7, maybe 8. All right, so we'll talk more about that as we get going, but I want you to grab your weights and let's get started. All right, so we have 3 sets of this. Now, I picked some 30s for my bent over row, but I want you to select a weight that works best for you, right? Something that you can control safely and effectively. Now, let's get into that position. So this is the first move. We're going to have 8 reps. We're going to hinge at those hips. So notice, we are shooting those glutes back. Shoulder blades are down and back. Now let's pick those weights up. Now, as we're in this position, a lot of times people want to be up here. I want you to think about almost getting parallel or as close to the floor as you can. You want the pressure to really be in that pinky and ring finger as you drive up for 8. Let's go. There was 1 and 2. Really activating those lats. 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice we're kind of pulling towards our pocket. 7 and 8. And staying solid in that movement the entire time, okay? You want to make sure that you pick a weight that you're able to control your movements throughout, so there's not a lot of rocking or moving excessively. Now our next move is everybody's favorite, the bicep curl. So grab those weights, roll those shoulder blades down and back. You want to think about giving a nice little pelvic tuck. Do you see? If you're standing like this, tuck that pelvis in, squeeze those glutes, brace that core, and we're going to dive in for 10 reps of this. So as we come up, I want you to think about those elbows should remain pointing towards the floor. There's 4. And so you're not coming all the way up. 5, just about to chest height, right? And slowing that lowering down. There's 7, 8, 9, and 10. So notice when we're lowering that weight down, we don't want to just let it drop. We want it to gently lower so that we are getting that work throughout that full move, right? We come up fast, that's a concentric, but then the eccentric is that work lowering back down. All right, we are headed to the floor for the dumbbell pullover. Now, we'll just use one of these heavy weights that we used for the row. You'd be amazed at how strong your back is, right? So for this one, we are just simply going to lie on the floor, and we can hold this weight 2 different ways. You can hold it in a manner that has kind of that diamond grip and make sure that those shoulder blades are down and back, or you can hold it bell to bell. This one gives you a little bit more range of motion when you're on the floor than the diamond grip does. So, but choose your own adventure, right? So let's dive in. Make sure those shoulder blades are down and back. Make sure that you are driving that low back to the ground, giving that little pelvic tuck, right? Kind of like how we did when we were standing. And then we're going to extend overhead. Now I want you to note, you're going to feel this in your back, right? This is working those shoulder mobility as well, but it's also working those lats, which are those side back muscles. Sometimes we call them the wings. And here's 4. And I want you to make sure that you have a micro bend in those elbows. 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. So assess, how did that feel? Right? Did that feel like a challenge? And did you see how I did that? How I loaded that on? That's a nice way. If you're like, how am I going to pick that up safely? You can just kind of roll to your side and lower that weight on. And if you're loading it, roll to your side, lower that weight onto your hips. All right. Now from here, we are going to stand back up and we're going to go into that hammer curl. So let's grab those weights and we're going to get our form right. So we make sure that we have a solid stance. We have those feet about hip width apart. We have that nice little pelvic tuck. We are squeezing those glutes. We are bracing that core. And once again, those elbows will stay down as we drive up. Okay, this one, those palms are facing each other rather than facing up. 4. And this one's just a little bit different movement. 5, but the form is the same. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, how did that feel? If that was something where you were like, Jen, that was challenging in all the best ways, stick with that weight selection. All right. If you felt like, okay, that I felt it, but I could probably go heavier, grab a little bit heavier. And if you're like, whoo, I was barely hanging on to form, then go lighter or no weight at all. Okay. Because form is the most important thing. If your form breaks, you break, right? If form breaks, you take a break, kind of reassess, what do I need to do? What weights do I need to change to? and then dive back in. All right, we are about to get ready for set number 2. All right, so here we go. Let's dive into set number 2. So we're going to start with that bent over row again. So let's grab those weights. We're going to make sure that we are hinging at those hips, and we have 8 reps. Bring those feet so they're about hip width apart. We are going to drive those glutes back, get that chest so it's about parallel to the floor, shoulder blades down and back, pinky and ring finger really driving up towards those pockets for 1, 2. You can really feel those lats engage when you drive through those fingers. There's 4, 5, 6. Notice we're controlling that down to 7. So as we come up, we are lowering slow and controlled into that bottommost position. All right, that's the second round of that one. Feeling pumped? those lats here are really, you're going to start feeling them. So if your sleeves start falling off your shirts and everything, just know it's all because of your workouts, right? All right, we are going to dive into that bicep curl. Speaking of sleeves falling off, here we go. Now we are going to have our palms in front of us. Remember those elbows? We want to keep pointing down, engage those glutes with that pelvic tuck, brace that core, and let's dive in. We have 10 reps. Make sure that elbow stays pointing towards the ground. 3, 4, and you want to think about those shoulder blades down and back too. 6, because we don't want our shoulders to round forward. 7, 8, 9, and 10. A lot of times, as we age, we start to see that rounding in our back. But as we strengthen our back, then we can start building that strength and mobility to keep us upright, right? We start, as we're building our back, we're also expanding our chest, because a lot of times those pecs get a little tighter, and this is giving them an opportunity to spread out as we build that strong back. And speaking of that, we are now to the dumbbell pullover. So let's lie on the floor. Remember how we're going to load that bell on our hips. All right. So if you tried it bell to bell the first time, then stick with that if you liked it. Otherwise, you might want to try going to that diamond grip. Okay, I'll show it this way too, just so you have a good idea. And you'll notice I'm kind of wiggling a little bit. That's to make sure that my shoulder blades are flat on the ground. That also is to help me drive that core, that low back down to the ground. We're going to bring this weight kind of over our forehead, and we're going to lower down for 1, 2, 3. Make sure you've got that micro bend in those elbows. 4, 5. You should really feel those lats firing up again. 6. You're getting a double whammy today. 7 and 8. All right, notice how we went slow down, brought it back up kind of slower, making sure that we're really working those muscles through that entire range. All right, we're to the last move of this round. Set number 2 for those hammer curls. All right, once again, check points. Make sure our feet are solid. Make sure our glutes, we have that pelvic tuck, right? That core is braced. Those elbows are in position. Those palms are facing each other. And we're lifting up for 2, 3, 4. You guys should be really proud of yourselves. I mean, you are showing up and you are doing the work. And, not every day is the same. 8. Some days we might have to go a little bit lighter. There's 9. And there is 10. So never get on yourself for, well, last week I was able to do this weight, and this week I had to drop. That's okay. So it depends on nutrition, stress, sleep the night before, all the things come into play. So show up every day where you are. That's why I always like to say pick a weight that you can control safely and effectively, because each day is a little different for us, right? Some days we're like feeling the rock star. Other days we're like, I'm surviving, right? But the continuation of showing up is where all that progress is made. So just like that, we are done with set number 2. So take a moment, grab a drink, get your life right, get your weights all set. If you're going to change to go up, if you're going to change to drop set, or, maybe use no weights at all. So all of those are options. I'll see you back for set number 3. And just like that, here we are again, right? It is our last round, best round. So let's take a look at what we've got here. I stuck with the same weights. I have the 30s for my back exercises and the 15s for the bicep curls. But, if you changed, I love that. That's what it's all about. Challenging yourself, but also recognizing where you are, right? So let's dive in to that bent over row. You remember all the cues. We have that hinge position. We have that full foot contact. We have that pinky ring finger really fully engaged. We have our chest almost parallel to the ground, strong hinge position, and we're going to pull for 8. Here we go. There's 1, pulling toward those pockets, really activating those lats, building that strong back. There's 4, controlling that lower. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Just like that. We only have 3 moves left. All right, lay those down. Let's grab those bicep curl weights, and here we go. Let's dive right on in. We have 10 reps. There's 1, 2, 3. Make sure those glutes are braced. Make sure that core is engaged. 6, 7, 8, and that you're coming down to that full extension. 9 and 10. All right. Now, we're bringing it back to the floor. So let's dive on in. Remember that fancy way to get loaded up with that weight. Shift it to your hips. And then you get to decide for this one. Do you want to hold it bell to bell? Or do you want to hold it diamond grip style? Both are perfect options. This way, the bell to bell does give you a little bit deeper range of motion. So you can try this on the bench too, if you have one, right? And I like to do the diamond grip on the bench because you have that ability to go a little lower and it's a nicer solid hold, especially as the weights get bigger. All right, here we go. We have 8 reps and there's 1. Really feel that work. 2, and as you're coming up, make sure that you're not coming totally out of the work up to here. Try and keep it as you bring it up right above your forehead. There was 4, 5, 6. I got the shakes going on. 7. I'm sure you do too. 8. And there's a bonus. 9. There were only supposed to be 8, but I got chatting, distracted myself, and you'll find that happens. So sometimes the count isn't what the count is, right? But that's okay. That's where we show ourselves some grace, and we just keep showing up anyway. All right, our last set. It is hammer curls. All right, so here we go. Make sure you've got everything situated, making sure you got those shoulder blades down and back, so you've got that nice flat back. Got those arms pinned to the side as if you were holding your cell phone under your armpit, and you don't want it to fall down. 1, 2, 3, How are you feeling? 4. I'm feeling like if I had sleeves, they would be falling off. 6, 7, 8. And if you start to notice a rock, 9, like I was starting to do, 10. You really want to squeeze those glutes even tighter, bracing that core. It just helps keep you in that space. And just like that, we are done. All right, go ahead and give yourself a little bicep stretch here. Just kind of, those biceps did a lot of work today, right? We were showing up. We were doing the dang thing. And we were showing our bodies what is possible. Not only that, we're showing our minds what's possible. A lot of times we get stuck because we think, oh, that's going to be hard, or I can't yet, right? But when you start pushing through, once again, we're just going to give those good shoulder rolls. Once you start pushing through and start realizing what you're capable of, reverse it, then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I liked that. That was a lot of fun. I wonder what's next, right? Because there's always that next chapter. So keep writing, keep showing up. And if you enjoyed today's workout, please, it would be an honor to me if you would hit that like and subscribe. And let's start building this community together. You know, if you have friends who are on YouTube, feel free to share it with them so that we can all show up, cheer one another on, because we're always better together. You got this.